Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to completely dismantle everything you thought you knew about aviation's most famous and, honestly, most misunderstood safety device. We hear about it on the news all the time, right? But the actual reality of what this thing is, how it's built, and what it really does is way more fascinating than the myths.
Section 1. The Black Box Myth. Fact versus Fiction.
So, let's just dive right in with a really simple question. Have you ever actually seen a black box? I mean, really looked at one. Literally everyone uses the phrase black box the second there's an aviation incident. It's the very first thing investigators look for, and it's the first thing the media talks about. But if you were to stand right in front of one of these legendary devices, you'd immediately notice something that totally contradicts its name.
Yeah, the reality is a stark contrast to the myth. These units aren't black at all. They are deliberately painted this bright, super eye-catching color called international orange. Now, why do they do that? Well, for one absolutely crucial reason. It makes them incredibly easy to spot among the twisted metal of a crash site. If a plane goes down in a dense forest or a sprawling field, investigators do not want to be hunting for a dark, camouflaged box. They need it to stand out instantly.
Section 2. Inside the orange box. Two separate devices.
Strictly speaking, every commercial aircraft carries two completely separate devices that divide up the massive job of recording a flight. First up, you have the flight data recorder. Think of this as the ultimate technical diary. It's continuously logging hundreds of parameters. We're talking altitude, airspeed, heading, engine performance, and the exact positions of the control surfaces. And it's not just checking in every few minutes. It is logging this data multiple times per second. Then you have the cockpit voice recorder, which has a totally different job. It captures the audio inside the cockpit, usually holding the most recent 2 hours of audio on a continuous loop. Together, they give investigators the complete, unfiltered picture of a flight's final moments.
Section 3. Surviving the Unthinkable. Built to last.
Now, what makes these units truly mind-blowing isn't just what they record, but what they are engineered to survive. The memory unit is encased in heavy-duty titanium or high-grade stainless steel to protect the inner data chip against a crushing impact of 3,400 times the force of gravity. We are talking 3,400 Gs. To put that into perspective, this device is engineered to protect its delicate inner data chip even when the massive, heavy aircraft surrounding it is completely destroyed. It is wild. But hey, impact is just one part of the equation, right? What about fire? Well, the memory unit can withstand direct, intense flames at over 1,100 degrees Celsius for at least an entire hour. Jet fuel burns incredibly hot, and the aftermath of an incident often involves severe fires. The engineers know this, so they've fortified the housing so that the fragile data inside remains completely insulated and intact, literally in the heart of an inferno.
And then we have the water. If a flight goes down over an ocean, the environment becomes hostile in a totally different way. But guess what? The device is prepared for that too. If it gets submerged, the black box can survive at crushing ocean depths of up to 20,000 feet for an entire 30 days without leaking a single drop of water into the data compartment. I mean, the immense atmospheric pressure at the bottom of the ocean would easily crush a submarine, but this titanium witness, it just waits patiently in the dark.
Section 4. Finding the witness. Strategic placement.
Of course, surviving the crash is really only half the battle. Search teams still actually have to find this crucial piece of hardware, and that's exactly why black boxes aren't just placed randomly in the cabin. They are almost always strategically mounted in the tail section. Why the tail? Well, statistically speaking, the tail is the section most likely to remain physically intact after a severe crash. By putting the most important piece of investigative tech in the safest part of the plane, engineers are maximizing the chances of a successful recovery.
But what if the aircraft goes down over water and sinks completely out of sight? That is where a brilliant piece of technology comes into play called the pinger. It's an underwater locator beacon, and it activates the exact moment it makes physical contact with water. Once it's activated, it emits a directional ultrasonic signal for at least 30 days. This gives deep ocean search teams a vital, invisible breadcrumb trail to follow. Because without this little ultrasonic heartbeat, finding a small orange box in the vast pitch-black ocean would be nearly impossible.
Section 5. Solving the mystery. Continuous improvement.
So, what does this all mean? The absolutely crucial point we need to take away today is the overarching philosophy behind all this indestructible tech. It's beautifully summarized by this core principle. Every recovered black box exists so investigators can reconstruct exactly what happened and turn that into design and procedure changes that make the next generation of aircraft safer.
That is so profound. None of this massive engineering effort, none of the titanium and the orange paint exists to point fingers or assign blame. It is 100% about reconstructing events minute by minute to drive continuous, relentless improvements in aviation safety.
The box that everyone calls black has never actually been black. It's bright orange, it's built to survive pretty much anything the physical world can throw at it, and it's designed with one singular, monumental job, making sure no crash is ever a complete mystery. The bright color, the separate recording units, the staggering durability against impact, fire, and water, they all serve this one reassuring mandate. We learn from the past to protect the future.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. How does knowing about this hidden, indestructible witness change your perspective for the next time you board a flight? Because next time you fly, I want you to remember the incredible engineering flying right behind you in the tail section, tirelessly working to ensure the skies just keep getting safer for all of us. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and keep exploring the incredible world around you.